let's just close our eyes and take a deep cleansing breath. Shoulders up. Let them drop. I'm going to teach you a different breathing technique today, just besides the bringing the shoulders up and letting them drop. We're actually going to do a breathing technique where you breathe in for the count of 3, hold for the count of 4, and then breathe out for the count of 6. Okay, it actually is proven to reduce your stress. It brings down heart rate. So breathe in, hold, breathe out. Okay, and usually we do that 3 times. You guys can do that later in your spare time. And now I want you just to imagine somebody in your life that has made you feel extremely loved, extremely cherished. And then think about that feeling. I just want you to hold on to that feeling. Okay, you've got it, right? Now I want you to think about your perfect partner, or the perfect feelings that you would have about yourself if you would only allow yourself just that opportunity to feel that way. So write that out, write down every single thing, every quality that you want to see in that partner, right, Sandra? So
yeah.
And it has to be in a positive. So, for example, on my list, when I wrote my list, when I was at my breaking point and I got off of the shit stream, when I got off that crazy stream, and I wrote out my list and I said, no more. I will only manifest good people in my life. I wrote down, had to love family, loves family, is funny, is supportive of me, loves art, or if they don't love art, they have to at least allow me to enjoy art. Loves nature, is hardworking, good with money, is an animal lover, is strong, independent, like all these things I wrote down. Athletic. So you write those things down. Compassionate, whatever comes to your mind, write those things down. And then I want you to read that out loud, because words are powerful. So then read it out loud, and then read it again, and then read it again. And then what I want you to do after you have literally read it 10 times, I want you to fold it up, and I want you to keep it in your pocket. Keep it in your pocket or your purse, and I want you to carry it with you everywhere you go for at least a year. If you can, you might lose it, but I have a feeling that if this
I put mine in a journal, what I'm working on, and I read it every night when I'm writing out my journal in the nighttime. Also a good one, I did that for, I think, until my husband came. I put it under my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd open it every night and read it. There's different, you can read it every night, or you cannot. You can just keep it under your pillow. Just keep it where just make sure that when you're doing your laundry, it doesn't get,
Yeah. I kept mine before I made an agreement with myself that before I went on any date, before I gave any piece of myself, physically, emotionally, mentally, to another person, that they had to have at least 8 out of 10 qualities on that list at a minimum. And
see, it's funny because I said they had to match the whole list.
And I said 8 out of 10 because nobody's perfect. Hey.
But I remember people saying to me, I kid you not, I can still remember the conversations, and they're like, that person does not exist. What you want, you're not going to find. I'm like, no, he exists. I guarantee you. And I go on a date, and I go for that date, and go for coffee or something. In like 10 minutes, you're like, nope. I go home, and I'd write the opposite of the thing that, like, something that made me mad about that person, or you could just tell it wasn't, and I'd write that on my list. I'd be like, I'm just keep on at it until I find him.
So you added to the list. Ah, too funny.
Yeah.
And
nope, I don't like that. So let me write that on in a positive way.
Yes. And that was the beauty of it, because you kept manifesting it. You added to it. And that's why I kept my list with me, is that I'd literally open it up. And if I was on the phone with like a potential date, I'd literally be looking on the list and like, no, this person does not have these qualities. I'm sorry. That date's not going to work. Right. And not because I was being nasty or being rude.
It's not. You have to, You have to set your boundaries, and you have to know what you want, and be specific and not settle. So many people will be like, well, he's not Mr. Right, or she's not Mrs. Right, but they're my right now, because they're so afraid to be alone. And I think that was the biggest thing. I was alone. I was like, nope, not, because that's just it. How can Mr. or Mrs. Right come find you if you're busy with someone else?
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. You need to be clear, need to be alone, need to be empty for them to come fill the love, and
Yeah.
So many people do that. I've heard. So I've corrected that behavior from a lot of people who are struggling. I was like, well, I see that you're dating that person though. Like, yeah, well, I don't want to be alone. Well, the longer until you go alone, Mr. Right or Mrs. Right isn't going to find you, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that's 100%. I love that. I think that's perfect. That's where we should leave it off.
Yeah, sounds good. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I gotta manifest some better internet.
Okay, so that's what you're manifesting today?
That's what I'm manifesting, a better internet connection.
I'm manifesting allowing the greatness that is coming through, because I feel it. And yet I feel little feelings of self-consciousness and trying to come up and block it. Yeah. And I'm manifesting just letting the floodgates open and letting it through for you and for me and for all of us, because I feel it. I feel there's big awakenings happening.
There's some big things happening, and big things coming. Yeah. All right.
Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Thanks for everyone tuning in. We'll see you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.